In the early hours of September 2nd, 1666, a small flame kindled in Thomas Farriner's bakery on Pudding Lane in the heart of London. Little did everyone know, this spark would ignite one of the most catastrophic events in the city's history. London in 1666 was a bustling, crowded city. Its streets were narrow and meandering, closely packed with wooden houses, their upper stories jutting out over the streets. These conditions were ripe for disaster. The fire began in the bakery's oven, perhaps due to a forgotten ember or overheated oven. Despite Farriner's efforts to douse the flames, the fire quickly spread. Neighbors rushed to help, forming bucket brigades. However, their efforts were in vain. The fire was voracious, and the lack of an organized fire brigade meant there was little that could be done. Within hours, what started as a minor blaze had become an unstoppable inferno, setting the stage for a disaster that would forever change the face of London. As the first light of dawn broke on September 2nd, 1666, the fire swiftly spread from Pudding Lane toward the heart of the city, fueled by a strong east wind and a dry summer. London's predominantly wooden architecture provided ample fuel for the flames. In 1666, London lacked an organized fire brigade. Residents and local soldiers desperately fought the flames using buckets, water squirts, and fire hooks. As dawn broke, the fire had grown beyond control. Panic spread as quickly as the flames, with residents fleeing their homes, clutching whatever possession they could carry. Some even used boats on the Thames to escape. Over the next 4 days, the fire devastated London, destroying over 30,000 houses, 87 churches, including St. Paul's Cathedral. By the time the fire was extinguished, it had laid waste to much of medieval city, leaving a vast landscape of smoking ruins. King Charles II and his brother James, Duke of York, took direct command of fighting the fire, even as citizens, despite and fled. The turning point came when the garrison from the Tower of London used gunpowder to create fire bricks, finally halting the fire's eastward spread. After the fire, London faced the colossal task of rebuilding. Architects like Christopher Wren played key roles in designing a new urban landscape. The Great Fire led to the introduction of new building regulations. Houses were to be built with brick and stone, and streets were widened. The reconstruction of London took several decades, transforming the city into a modern metropolis, with wider streets and a new architectural style. The Great Fire's legacy went beyond architecture. It revolutionized urban planning, fire safety measures, and building regulations. London's recovery from the Great Fire set a precedent for how cities worldwide manage urban disaster and plan for resilience. Today, the Great Fire of London is remembered not just as a catastrophe, but as a catalyst for a positive transformation in city planning. From the ashes of the Great Fire rose a new London, symbolizing resilience and renewal, forever altering the course of urban development.